Do not call freight brokers if you are not doing this. Stick to the end, guys. I will be sharing something, I would say, game changer. So it's a software that can change your business forever. So you will have the chance to try out. So let's dive in. And before we dive in, and I'll obviously like this video. Please subscribe and make sure to turn on the bell notification in case we post these live training and any other videos that you can benefit from. You will notified. So let's talk about this KPIs. Today is the topic is the KPI. For those of you who don't know, the KPIs is the key performance indicators. We'll be talking about this specifically. And then we'll talk about brokers, calling them, using these KPIs. This will be an amazing training, guys. And again, you guys know the drilling. If you have questions, please let me know. So why we are discussing these KPIs and why this software that I'm about to share with you, it's so important. Guys, think about, before we just dive into this, think about KPIs as the indicators, numbers. Think about like human being. When you go to a doctor, they will run some checkups. For example, they will take a look at your temperature. They will check your temperature. They will check your blood pressure. I don't know, cholesterol level. And those are the KPIs for human being. And guys, business is no different. Business is actually a living thing. It's a living, think about it, it's a living cell. So business has a birthday, business has a name, business has a social security, right, which is EIN number, and business actually owns asset, and business actually can run independently without you. So then your business and my business, like any other businesses out there, they have the KPIs. The problem is, I'm talking about specifically in the trucking industry. I'm talking about specifically independent freight dispatchers. Maybe you're new, maybe you're just starting, maybe you're already, what I would say, pro dispatcher, that you've been dispatching, I don't know, for 5 years, 10 years, whatever. But the problem I see that with most of independent freight dispatchers, they don't use the KPI. Most people, they don't know the KPIs. If they know, they don't know how to use them correctly. If they know how to use them, but they don't know how to improve them. These are these key performance indicators. They're really, really important. Let's dive in let's start the conversation. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's ask the question. You as an independent freight dispatcher, how long does it take you to dial the numbers? Let's give it a second. Think about this. When you see a number, let's say you are using the DAT or whatever the load board you're using. How long does it take you to dial that number when that load appears? Or when you see that there is a load that you're interested? Have you thought about this? Like, how long does it take you to dial? Like, I'm talking about specifically dialing the numbers on your phone. Yes, there are some people using, other softwares, but maybe you don't know what are those, but I'll be sharing that software that I use with you in a minute. So have you thought about this? This is everything. I'll be sharing my numbers with you guys, right? But then think about this. Our KPI, meaning dialing, is 1.8 seconds. When there's a load pops up, it just takes 1.8 seconds to dial. Do you know what that means? I win a lot of calls because I get first. Think about 1.8 seconds it takes you to dial, right? So the probability that the broker who posts the load will get on the phone with you, it's high. Think about 1.8 seconds. So what about your numbers? Like, what about your KPIs, right? So let's continue, since I'll be taking some questions. Do you record your sales calls? And by the way, guys, remember this. When I use sales calls, when I say sales calls, a lot of my students, and obviously when I have conversation with other people, like, freight dispatchers, independent freight dispatchers, owner operators, whatever, when I say sales calls, they will get confused. Like, what are you talking about? Guys, remember, when you call brokers, start talking, negotiating, whatever, asking any question about the load, all those calls are considered as a sales calls. I'm not going into detail, like defining what a sales calls, like how many phases it has. You can do your own research, but all of those are the sales calls. The question is that the question that I have for you: do you record your sales calls? Right? Do you tag them? Think about this. If you record your calls, why? Why do you record your calls? Right? So if you're not recording your calls, then why are you not recording your calls? Then how will you know your closing rate? Right? So how you develop a script that you've been guys asking for a long time, like, Kamal, can you share the script, the broker script, the ultimate conversion script? Guys, I can't share because those sales scripts reserved for my paid students. But think about then how you are going to develop a script that you can win when you're talking to a broker. Broker, they can ask whatever the number they wanted to ask. It's totally okay. Well, some people will say they charge 5%, they will charge 18%. I see people saying they charge 50%, whatever the number is. But your job is to know your KPIs and develop the strategy and tactics so that you can use for your favor. If you're not using, let's say, if you're not using a piece of software that helps you record, helps you tag, helps you send the message while you are talking over the phone, right? If that software is not helping you win some time to get right in front of the broker and start talking and start negotiating, then what's the point? There are thousands of people out there, and one of them, I would say popular or most asked question is like, Kamal, why should I go into this business because it's already saturated? Well, it can be saturated, but I don't think it's saturated. But you can think about the restaurant industry. Think about, do you think that it's saturated? Think about trucking companies. Hundreds of new entities come into play. Do you think it's saturated? But think about this. Most people will come into the business and most people will go out of the business quickly. They will close the business, whatever. And one of the reasons is that they don't have the proper structure, or if they do, they don't know the marketing. If they do, they don't use the KPIs. That's what it is. Guys, this is very, very important. And I'll have some time to take your questions. And then if you record your sales calls, if you do, then what do you do with the data that you have? Think about if you are an independent freight dispatcher, you know that you're making a lot of calls per day. Think about how many calls you will have per month and how many calls you will have per year. And think about if you're in business, I don't know, for 2 years, for 4 years, for 5 years, think back and think how many calls you made. But the question is then, you have this data, right? And what do you do with it? Like how many calls I did and how many, sales I win, how many sales I lost. I use this particular script, but it's not working. Can I develop new one? If you don't have the control script, how you are testing the variable script against the control script. The control meaning the script that you developed. This is how we developed the ultimate conversion script, making a lot of thousands of calls, recording them, then going back and take a look at the KPIs, and then like, what went wrong? We've been talking to this carrier for about 20 minutes, then we lost the conversation. What happened? And we start listening to those conversations and we realize, oh, wow, when we mentioned this X, Y, and Z, then we lost the lead or the potential customer. Then we change. Then we take this control script and we will create the variable script and we'll test against. Now, since we are recording the calls, now we'll see, will this script increase the conversion rate. For example, we might have the conversion script control, for example, A and B. Maybe we're A B split test, and we'll see that okay, when we use this script A, we have conversion rate of 6%. Meaning, if we talk to 100 carriers, then 6 of those carriers we work. Now we have a business, right? So we converted them; they now became a customer. Then we created this sales script, which is variable, which is B. Then we start testing. Now we have conversion rate of 26. Think about now we're making 100 calls and we're converting 26. Yes, I'm not, and you can say like, come on, well, like a lot of customers, like how we handle them. But and again, we have this evaluation phase, and we will take them, we'll onboard them. Then we have different KPIs to keep in the game, then delivering the customer retention. Those are the things for different. It's a different topic for different day, for another day, right? So think about if you're recording your calls while talking to your brokers, think about how many things you can improve, right? So you will definitely avoid these things. Something like, hey, broker, you told me this, and then I said to you this over the phone. Remember? Then now you're refusing to pay. Well, it's not going to happen. You have the data to support your conversation, right? Most of the brokers, they do. I have a lot of friends of mine that they're brokers, and they're using these piece of softwares, and they're recording you. You are allowing them or you're not allowing them. They don't care. But they're using these KPIs. They're using sales tactics. For example, what if I say this, the price point to a dispatcher or a carrier, what will happen? They will test. Guys, a lot of tests happening, over the phone, you're not even realizing. And then we have these carriers saying, oh, wow, you know what? Freight dispatchers have this reputation is really bad. We're not, considering even working with independent freight dispatchers. Why? Because of X, Y, and Z. Guys, use the KPIs to improve your customers' businesses. When they improve, obviously, you will be making money. So then I have a bunch of questions, guys. Think about, do you improve your KPIs when you have your KPIs, right? Key performance indicators. Do you improve them? Do you actually use them? Do you are you taking a look at your analytics, what they say, right? Do you track your numbers? If you don't have a business, you have a hobby. That's a bold statement. Do you use any software to actually record these calls, tag these calls, right? And then this click to call, the software that I shared, I'll share with you guys. You guys asked a lot of questions about the call. So we'll go over this real quick. So this question is like, this is a game changer. Like, think about how many dials like you're making before the conversation starts. Like, have you had the situation where you call the broker and call dropped, and you call again, and you dropped and you call again? Like, how many in average, right? How many dials in average takes before the conversation starts? So, like, come on, why is this important? Like think about why not? Why it's not important? When you're dialing this, like, have you thought about like what's the technical side of this? Like, why the call is dropping? Like, why it takes so long to get like the dialing before the conversation starts? Guys, I'll tell you, this is very important. In the transportation industry, specifically, I'm talking to independent freight dispatchers, seconds matter. They really do. Like, seconds matter. So if you call like two, three, four, you're dialing 2 to 3 times and then nothing happening, then what do you do? Do you stick with it and then you like keep doing, or do you like, hey, forget about it, there's a load, let me call this? Right? Do you have like SOPs, right? So that you can take a look and see what's happening. So if you're not taking these like seriously, you're not looking at the details, then you're missing a lot of money on the table. So guys, I have free resources for you. Below this video, there's a startup guide, how to become a truck dispatcher. There's a link below this video. And obviously there is a load board if you wanted to use it, the Truckers Edge Pro. This is the link. You don't have to call the DAT, so you can just use that link and you can create the account. And then the DAT Power, this is what I use. So again, this is the link. But again, guys, you can't use this link and let me go back. You can't use this link and create an account online. You must call when you let's say thinking about getting the subscription for DAT Power. You must call and talk to your salespeople. So this is the software that I have. Click to call software. There will be a link below this video. Right, check it out. This is what we use, and I will give you an example as well. So I use DAT Power, but let me see. I'll give you an example. This is what I mean, just so that you can have the idea what I'm talking about. This is what will happen, and this is why I'm not using load board, even though I'll show you on the load board. But think about this is what will happen anywhere you go on the internet. This is what will happen. It will highlight, and then there will be like icon. You will click, and within seconds, right? Just like as I showed you guys, I shared our KPIs, which is 1.8 seconds. This is how long it takes to dial, right? So it's not about it's not like conversation started. It's a dial, right? So this is very important. It's the click to call. That is a software. I will show you one of the. So this is how it looks like. So you don't see the numbers, right? So you don't see the numbers, but this is how it will highlight blue, and then as soon as you click, it dials, right? And then conversation starts within seconds, like that. Okay, let me see. Yeah. So let me take your questions, and then we will go from there. Hi. So let's see. We have about 8 questions. So let's see. Wow. A lot of questions. There you go. We'll start with this question. If you are new to the business, meaning independent freight dispatching business or any business, I don't know, but I'm assuming it's an independent freight dispatching business, how should you charge? Okay. The percentage or weekly, which is profitable, and it's 5% good deal. Okay. So the 5%, I'm assuming you did some research and you see, maybe you've gone over the websites, independent freight dispatchers website, and you see that in average people charging about 5 to 6%. Even though you can do that, but I'm not a fan of charging 5% because of my time, but it's my personal opinion. I drive a lot of business. I help not my company basically helps get a lot of revenue for the trucking companies. So if I do that, then I have the right to ask a share. Hey, you were making 25K before you joined my team. Now you're making about 38,000 per month, or the 40K or the 45K per month. Then please let's share. Right? That is the basic idea. So if you're new, obviously, you are limited as far as dispatching power. You don't have a skill. I'm assuming maybe you don't have a training or proper training, I would say. Then when you're starting out, first 3-4 months, obviously, you can't go above, let's say, 3 to 4. The max that you can do, maybe 5 trucks. And then it depends on your business model, depends on obviously, the market you go into. By market meaning drive-in, there's like car hauling market, there's like a flatbed market, there are a lot of markets, box truck markets, right? So those things really important, and those are the markets will dictate like how much you should charge in average, let's say. But when you're starting out, 5 trucks, the max you can do, then you can obviously start hiring people and build a team, and then this is how you grow your business. Then percentage, whatever works for you. Let me say it this way: whatever works for you, you can charge. Do your research on this one, because I don't want to confuse when I say numbers, then people get confused about this. So my students, they know how much they need to charge. So It depends on the weekly, what is your commission base? It's like a salary base. I have students charging bi-weekly. I have students charging, based on the commissions and like different ways you can go about. Like I will give you an example. Like I have drivers, some people will say, hey Kamal, I'm interested in sharing the revenue. Give me X, Y, and Z percentage off of your gross income. Then okay, then there will be a driver saying, hey, like per mile strictly, I need to, I don't know, 70 cents per mile, 65 cents per mile, 80 cents, dollar, I don't know, right? So, and again, I'm throwing numbers. So, because different carriers pay different amount of money. So I don't want to confuse people. So then you said you appreciate, absolutely. Okay, let's do this. So, good day. How are you doing? Okay, would like to ask documentation with OTR. Why do we need a driver license or registration? Man, think about like if I work with you, right? So I need some piece of government issued document. So who am I working with? So this is a legal business, right? So obviously I need to have some type of, government issued driver license or something like that, right? Then it's a business, man. You need to treat that way, right? It's straightforward. So they must have, and then I have a lot of students, they're working with them, and they're awesome, obviously. So documentation. So can we deal with them without driver license? Do we have any other options? No. So if you don't want to share your driver license, you don't have your driver license, you can't do that, man. That's a simple and easy answer. So okay, let's do this. Hey guys, I really wanted to be live again. Last time I have also some question left. So if I had not been in the States ever, okay. So how can I open my LLC in the States? Should I need someone in the States? Okay, guys, this is a very common question. If you're outside the US, you want to create the business in the US, there is a law. You don't need to be present. You don't need any green card. You don't need any, you don't need to be in the United States. So there is a video I did doing business or running business without living in the States. There's the video. Check it out. So the basically how it works is that you will be any part of the world, right? So maybe, I don't know, you're any part of the world. Let's keep it simple. You're any part of the world, any country except United States. You want to do business, you're creating a business, you are using a company, the registered agent in the United States, and they will be helping you creating a business. Then next logical question is like, then Kamal, how? Like, I'm outside the US, then I'm creating business in the US. It seems like impossible, right? So, oh wow, in the United States, I'll be creating a business. Guys, it's a US interest, right? This country is the land of opportunities, right? So it actually, when you create your business, you'll be paying taxes, right? And again, quick disclaimer, I'm not a CPA, I'm not a lawyer. So you guys always seek professional help. I have lawyers, I have CPAs. You'll be paying taxes in the States. So this is why the United States giving you the opportunity to create the business in the United States. And obviously there's a proper, documentation. I have a lot of international students, and you can do that by using the company, which is registered agents. Great question. So let's see. I'll be taking like one question per person because I have a lot of questions. Okay, so let's take a look. Good evening, Kamal. Hi. I know it's out of a topic, but could you give a brief information about the course, guys? Obviously, I will do that real quick. It's not a pitching, because since you ask real quick, it's not a course, right? The course, it's like when you have these like go and buy and download, and it's like maybe it's over the internet, or it's maybe downloading these content to your computer, then maybe you can watch it, maybe not, but it's not that way. So we have a programs, right? So we training people, right? There is a 50 module, think about that way. There's information side of the business, so A to Z, anything you need, it's there. right? So when I say anything, sometimes I, lose people. They will say like anything. What do you mean? Like we pretty much have everything that you need to become a successful independent freight dispatcher. Period. Why? Because we have about like almost 19,000 students, right? Combined. So we know we get a lot of questions, right? So when we get questions, we obviously will optimize the training. And then we have this implementation part of it. So we have these live trainings, Mondays and Thursdays, twice a week, eight times per month. Okay, that's the brief information you need. And again, you'll join the program, you will finish, and then you have these live trainings so that you can start implementing. That's it. That's the brief I can go. Okay, so let's take this question. Okay, let me take this question real quick. Recording will build confidence over time. Absolutely. Great. So let me see if you are okay. Let's take this question real quick. If you are new to dispatching in UK you're not in the USA, this is what it means. How they pay you. There's a system, there is a process, and I have a lot of videos inside this inside this channel. You can take a look. So for the time purpose, I'm not going into detail, but there are softwares, there are programs that you can use and easy to get paid, right? So one of them is, I think one of the question was like why we are the OTR capital they need, which is factoring company, by the way. Why they need driver license? Man, well, they need to pay somehow, right? So they will be using identifying you. Obviously, are you legal? Are you illegal? Right? Because it's a business, right? And one of the ways to getting paid using the factoring companies. Okay, got it. Thanks. You're welcome. Chad says, "Thank you, Kamal, for teaching." Absolutely, you're welcome. Okay. Guys, if you have questions, let me know. So let me take this question real quick. As an independent truck dispatcher, freight dispatcher, okay, is it must to register a company in the US? Okay. In the US and call subscription. Must register company. And again, guys, the channel that I have is for educational purposes. Obviously, I'm in the US, you can be any part of the world, you can be in the United States, but guys, this channel is for educational purposes, right? I share my knowledge, I share whatever the experience I have with you. But then and again, I can't say that you must register a company. Why? Because I'm not a CPA, I'm not a like attorney or lawyer or something like that, right? So we must ask professionals. But as far as I know, as far as my experience goes, yes, right? I must register a company because I'll be working with the company, right? So it's a business to business opportunity. So if we are talking about being an independent freight dispatcher and dispatch trucks any part of the world, right, and run your business in the United States, yes, you need an LLC, right? Based on my experience, this is what I have from my lawyers, and this is what I have from my CPAs, because you need to be legal, right? Legal and properly running your business. So if you say, Kamal, maybe you're thinking about like being just a dispatcher, working for a company as an employee, that's totally different world, right? You don't need LLC. Start your company if you work, for example, in the office. For example, for me, like I'm a carrier. So if you work for me and then you dispatch my trucks, obviously you don't need LLC, right? What we're talking about is the business opportunity. We're not talking about the employment opportunity. So this is why we're talking about the business opportunity, so that we don't go into being an employee for somebody, right? That's the whole point. So let's see. So we have a question from Facebook. Hi, Kamal. Hi. If I leave, Massachusetts, but wanted to open my independent freight dispatching business in the North Carolina through the Legal Zoom. By the way, the Legal Zoom, it's a great resource that you can use. But then again, guys, do your own research as far as creating your LLCs. So let's continue. I wanted to use an address, North Carolina. So North Carolina address. How do I do it? Okay, I don't want to take your time. You can give me a brief answer. Brief answer, and again, go to talk to your CPA or go to talk to a small business attorney. Guys, they won't charge like for 15 or 20 minutes, consultation. You can always ask questions. They're the professionals that help you. That's the first step, right? And the question that I have for you is like, why? Right? So if you are, let's say, Massachusetts, you live in this, state, but you want to use, the address in North Carolina, then why? Right? So if there's like particular reason or like specific reason, then obviously you need to talk to a small business attorney. Those are the professionals. They can help you. This is a very specific question. I never done this before, right? But I would recommend, so if you live, let's say I'm in the Georgia, for example. If I live in Georgia, man, I need to have, create a business in the Georgia, right? So I don't know the reason. For those reasons, I don't know, and then I can't give you the proper response for this one. So, but great question. Okay, thank you, Kamal. You're the best. Well, thank you. You guys are the best. Thank you. Okay, let's take this. Okay, so, and I have again some question. Okay, if I haven't been in the US, how can I get driver license? And it's okay if I hire an agent that can open US bank. Oh, okay, so you are not in the US and OTR Capital ask for driver license, but if you don't have a driver license, you need to present some type of, and again, government issued, like your passport, for example, right? So it's like, hey, you are a legal person, right? So, and if you don't have a driver license, contact OTR Capital and tell them that, hey, I'm like outside. They have a lot of independent freight dispatcher all over the world, guys. This company is amazing. So, hope that helps. Quick question: can I become a dispatcher from another country? Absolutely, 100%. Yes. Okay, so by what mean I can communicate with the broker and trucker from another country? It's by phone. Yes, there's a link that I shared with you. Check it out. It's a great resource for you. It's a cloud-based, phone system. It has everything you need: recording, tagging, messaging, dial to call, everything. There's a piece of software, below this video, so you can check it out. So, coming back to the Facebook question, it's like, I'm planning to move. Awesome. So if you're planning to move, my recommendation, like, and again, not the recommendation, just like my personal opinion. When you move, then you start create a business. You can do that, right? So when you move, just hold on. When you move, settle in, then start the business. You can do that, right? Hope that helps. Can you keep the live in your channel, please? Absolutely. When we end the live, session, it will automatically post and it will live in the in this YouTube channel. Absolutely. Okay, so let's take this question. Let's see as far as time goes. Okay, let me see. And is it okay if I open my LLC, Wyoming, or okay, Delaware? They offer these only to open it us for me. Okay, so this is, what is it? Information something. Okay, so, and again, the states, you need to pick a state, and then obviously, the company registered agent, they will help you create that business, right? So I don't know specifically, but the Wyoming state or Delaware. Okay, yeah, talk to them. They will help you. Okay, so let's see. Jennifer. Hi, Kamal. Good to see you. Hi, Jennifer. It's been a long time. Okay, absolutely. For some reason, I can't see the name for Facebook user. But then, Jennifer, I do see yours. Awesome. Guys, it's been awesome. I hope you like it. Guys, if you have any questions, please let me know. And again, if you want to join the program, there will be links below. Just check them out. And guys, if you really wanted to improve your business, there is a software that I use that I recommend. Use them, try them out. You will love it, right? So, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Let's see. Let me check if you guys have any questions. I don't see any questions coming in. Guys, thank you. Let's meet on Friday and we do these live training sessions every Tuesday and Friday. So this is not for the coaching students. For coaching students, don't be confused. We have live coaching sessions Monday and Thursday, right? Different time, different day. So guys, you've been awesome. So if you're new, please consider subscribing. There's a link you can use. Any questions, please email me and we'll go from there. Thank you.